Can we fade that out, Tom?
It's faded.
Okay. Good morning, Unity Pace. I'm going to say it again.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to see you here in person and to have you with us online. So spend just a moment with me. It's going to be some irregular things today, and we will tell you about that as we're welcoming. But for this moment, let's just take a time to be quiet. Breathe.
That's her umbrella.
Breathe as we open in prayer. God of all goodness, there is nothing more profound than saying thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you, all that is, because we're part of a great oneness. And we are so grateful. It's such a privilege to be part of that oneness. And the very nature and character of that oneness is love. The energetic that fills the universe in every part and parcel, every bit of that oneness is in us, waiting to be expressed. Divine compassion is what we talk about. And we look today to look into ourselves to find the resource that will allow us to express that divine compassion. Bless each one who has joined us here today. We are so grateful for each and every one. Especially we're grateful for our new members that we will be welcoming today. So as we spend this time together, again, we are grateful. And so it is. So if I put my glasses on, I'll keep track of things a little better. It's time for our opening song. But before that, I want to just mention how things are happening. It's going to be a little different for those of you who are virtual this morning than it is here in person. Here in person, we have Phyllis playing for us, always a great delight. And we haven't yet figured out how to make her sound good online. So we're not going to try to do that. We're instead taking songs that are recorded and playing them at the same time she's playing here. So I know you'll miss it if you're online, and I feel badly about that. We're working on it, but we do have music for you that's consistent. It's right along the lines with what Phyllis will be playing. So note that you will not have any lyrics, but take the lyrics in, except on the first song, which is our opening song, which is Love Is My Decision. And Phyllis will be playing it here, and you'll be hearing it if you're here with us virtually. So here we go. Take it away, Phyllis.
Okay. Let me. Most of you. But there's a little bridge that's added on.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
Thank you. For those of you who are with us virtually, there might have been just a little bit of dead air, but now we are back because the songs didn't line up exactly with regard to time. So it's time to welcome you. We welcome everyone that's with us, both online and in person. We're glad to have you with us this morning, and we want to recognize you. We'll do that in our connection time, and that'll be a little later. We have a beautiful opportunity this morning to welcome our new members. We've just had a new member class, and there are 9 here with us today who are becoming new members of Unity at Payson. And afterwards, if you're here in person, meet and greet, spend a little time to get to know other people at Unity of Payson. And for those of you who are online, what we wish you would put in the chat or at our website, unityofpayson.org, just a little note with your email on it so we can connect with you and get back to you as well. So we warmly welcome you, and we have a little affirmation that we say together. So all of you together, to those who are joining us for the first time, or to each other, and even those who have not found us yet, we love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. It's time for gratitudes. We're grateful for all of you who support Unity of Payson with your time, your talent, your treasure. And we're grateful for the events of last week. They include morning cafe every morning, Monday through Saturday at 9:30. Tai Chi, Sunday and Wednesday, I believe. Take a look at the newsletter just to make sure you have the time, and we'll highlight that again later on. Writer's Group was this last week. We had a neat time in writing to a prompt, and we come up with some very unique things. It's a wonderful new group. And if you love to write, every second and fourth Thursday at 4 o'clock, we have our writers group, and we welcome you to join us either. No, that one's entirely online, all online. So we will look forward to seeing you there. Sunset on the Rim was Friday night. Tom, how did that go?
We had 4.
Four people
Nice.
out there celebrating the sunset. And then, of course, the chaplain's meeting. We had a really nice chaplain meeting, which we lifted up those who have requested prayer on Saturday. So at this point, I'm just, for those of you who are here in person, I don't want to leave you out. If you have a gratitude that you're just bursting with that you'd like to share. So if you're here in person, would you just raise your hand and let me know? I've got something I've got to share, and we'll allow a little time for that. Brett.
1.5 inches of rain last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that virtually, but 1.5 inches of rain in Payson last night. We are grateful. Someone else? If not, we'll move on. We'll talk about gratitude a little later on too. Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer, and we have trained prayer chaplains to support you. Our chaplains are available to pray with you if you're here in person. The chaplains will have, I think, Betty, you may be the only one here this morning. Betty's got a stole on, so you can't miss her. If you would like to be joined in prayer, We will pray with you. Betty will pray with you. Just tap her on the shoulder and she'll find a place where you can do that quietly. And always take advantage of our prayer chaplains. There's also a prayer box in the back with a little slip. If you have a prayer request that you'd like us to take into our list of prayer requests, please put it there. What happens is that when you submit a prayer request, Unity of Payson prayer chaplains hold that in prayer for 30 days. We do that in our meeting, but we do it as well individually, day after day after day. And then after that time, those prayer requests are sent to Silent Unity. And for another 30 days, they are held at the prayer chapel at the top of the Silent Unity building. And there they are prayed for energetically for another 30 days. So there is power in that prayer. And we want you to take advantage of that. Also, just a note, if you want to call for prayer at any time, Unity makes that available. Silent Unity, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. You can come back and ask me if you want that number again, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And you can speak with a prayer associate and you'll have a wonderful affirmative prayer. We did that with our new members class. We kind of ended the new members class with a call to Silent Unity. It was really uplifting. So Unity's theme for this month, the month of October, is compassion. And we have an affirmation here, affirmative statement that I'd like us to read together because this is the essence of what we're considering this month. So together, I express divine compassion when I feel deeply for others, listen with my heart, and remember to love myself first. Today's speaker is me. I'm talking about listening with the heart, but you'll get that soon. It's time to just consider the daily word. It's a great word to go along with compassion. The word is joy. When you are able to participate in divine compassion, there's nothing like it, the feeling of joy, that you're able to extend that compassion either to yourself or to someone else. So here's the daily word. I delight in simple joys. Joy, it has been said, comes much more from wanting what we have than from having what we want. Reflecting on this thought, I embrace the simple joys that this day offers. I enjoy my morning coffee or tea. You can do that at 9:30 together with a few of us. Savoring its fragrance and its flavor. Walking through my neighborhood, I greet friends, smile at people I haven't yet met, and enjoy the fresh air. I find satisfaction in taking care of my home, working at my job, or helping a friend. Even if I'm not with them today, I feel joy as I think of my connection with the people I care about most. I know joy whenever I look for opportunities or possibilities rather than focus, it's opportunities too, possibilities rather than focusing on problems. My greatest joy is my awareness that wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, God is always with me. And the scripture is from Psalm 16. You show me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. In your right hand are pleasures forevermore. And now, time for the message. I'm sure that you had science class. Do you remember the science class of your youth? Studying all those things, some of which you were interested in, and some were just dry and boring. Well, let's review that science class, particularly biology today, just a little bit. I had a biology teacher named Mr. Steinbacher, and he drilled some things into our heads. And one of them that I can remember particularly is the central nervous system. The central nervous system, it dictates everything that we do. Well, ask you a question or two. When you think, where does that originate? I'm looking for an answer here. Come on, somebody. When you think, where does that originate?
The brain.
The brain?
I would say.
Any other answer? Betty?
The
The heart. Okay, I'll take both of those. I like them both. So yes, it is the brain and the heart. And if you think of the nervous system, you're likely to think of the brain or the spinal cord, because that was what we learned back in that science class way back when. But in 1991, a scientist named Dr. Armour presented a bit of a different view. He'd done a lot of studying, and he found out that the energy that we normally think comes from the brain and gets to the rest of the body, that's not even a fraction of the picture. That there is so much information, energetic information, that's sent from the heart and the gut and the other internal organs that goes to the brain. It kind of starts down within us and it ascends. Well, there's a vagus nerve that carries all that information to the brain. So the brain, yes, is something that we do our thinking with, but the heart initiates the information stream that goes on there. It's energetically so much more powerful than the brain. Magnetic energy of the heart is estimated to be about 5,000 times that of the energy of the brain. So there's an important element in the heart brain, as Dr. Armour called it. And if you're a student at all of heart math, a lot of that is reflected in the teaching and the understanding of heart math. So today I want to try to bring those two together, the mind and the heart, with the emphasis in the heart. And if I had to put it in a nutshell, here's what I'd say. Well, I will put it in a nutshell. As we still the mind and open the heart, we can express genuine compassion. As we still the heart, or still the mind and open the heart, we can express divine compassion. We talk about the mind a lot in Unity. The mind is something that we have control over, that we can use, with which we can make choices that determine what our life looks like. It's an interface between our human self and our divine self. We talk about the law of right, what is it?
Right action.
Right action sounds good. But anyway, it's whatever's held in mind reproduces after its kind. I'm blanking there for a minute. So the mind is so critical, and whatever we focus on, whatever we hold in our focus, is what shows up in our outer reality. But that's not the end of the picture, because our mind can also be used somewhat differently than we might hope to use it. Our mind is continually analyzing. We sometimes called it monkey mind. It's looking at the past and the future and trying to figure out how things are going and what to be afraid of and what not to be afraid of. And this mind is so prone, or at least in me it is true, to speak quickly, to give advice, to explain. The mind is really good at that. But I love, this is almost tongue in cheek, this quote from Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. And he says this: "Those who speak do not know. those who know do not speak. Holding the tongue, critically important, which means stilling the mind, slowing it down, stilling the mind. We see such a fractional picture when we just burst out with a response that we are sure somebody else is going to appreciate, which they may or may not. But the mind, in order to get advantage, take advantage of all of that energy that comes from the heart, has to get still. We do that when we spend time in meditation. And that stillness is the place that allows us to access the inner being that we are, that divine identity that we have, access that and allow that to be the energizing force. We talk about brain and heart. We also talk about mind and heart, but the heart we're talking about is a non-physical heart. It's at the very core of us, so it identifies where our heart is located, but it's not quite the same. So when we are able to still that brain, that energy resource, the heart, the core of us, the divine within us is ready to impart so much. It's a resource that's unlimited, truly unlimited. We take so little advantage of it. So if we go back to that nutshell message, I would say it a little bit differently. As we still the mind, we can express genuine compassion. Step number one, still the mind, slow it down. It'll run away with you if you don't. It's a choice. You can do it. Moving on. Open your heart. So I'm sure you've all had the experience of closing your heart. Something threatens you, something makes you afraid, and you feel yourself tightening up, just tightening up, and your heart is closed. It may be so serious that you actually close it up and harden it. And if I was to think of, where is this? Here's a heart. TJ made this heart. I would think of it like this. There's almost a door, like you see that opening in there? It's almost like a door. That's an open heart. But when we close our heart, we shut off all of that divine energy that's within it. We close it up. We don't let it come into the world. The heart that's open can allow that divine energy, that magnificent, unlimited divine energy to flow out into the world. And that's the essence of divine compassion. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to get there. An open heart. So I was reading a little bit from a book that some of you might be familiar with, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he talks about that energy and how great a resource it is and how we can close it off, place a block. It's almost as though, going back to this heart, we have a door and we close it up. And then, just to be sure that nothing is going to happen to us, we put a lock on it, or maybe 2 or 3 locks on it. We close that heart up. But Singer says, if you are able to open your heart, you have access to that wonderful energy that's within you. And if you do close it up, you shut that off. You block it, you stop it. His solution was, don't ever close your heart. Don't ever close. Oh, and that seems so difficult to do because it's painful to keep your heart open. All the things that happened in the past are there to haunt you. It's painful. You just want to close your heart. But if you don't close it, you do have continuous access to that divine energy within. So I say, open your heart. There's Betty would know a lot about this. She probably could talk about it better than I can. there's a chakra system that we have always, all of us have probably heard about. Some of us know a bit more about it, but there is at the very center of that chakra system, the heart chakra. And that heart chakra is given a name in the Sanskrit. It's Anahata. Anybody know that? So I see Ram nodding his head over here. Anahata, which means actually unhurt, unstruck, unbeaten. It's only we who think that we're going to get hurt if we keep our heart open. It's only us that think we're going to be beaten down if we keep our heart open. Somebody else is going to take advantage of us. We can't see the big picture. We're going to be beaten and struck and hurt. It's not the truth. The truth is, if we're able to open that heart chakra, if we're able to open our hearts, we have all that divine energy, and it's going to go where we're going next. It can be put out into the world in terms of divine compassion from us. And that's what we're talking about this month. So we go to that. How do we put that? Keeping our heart open, never closing it. We'll talk more about how do we do that. But when we allow that heart to be open, we have access to divine wisdom within. We're not hung up way up here in our head because we've stilled that. We've opened our heart. And divine wisdom that's resident in each and every one of us is ready to give us what we most truly need and desire, and it's also ready to genuinely extend to others compassion. There's a lot of people that go out and contribute to charities, and I love that contribution to charities, but if you want to really get to the point of expressing divine compassion, you've got to do it from within. And you do it according to the prompt that the spirit within is giving you. You don't just go off willy-nilly and say, oh man, I'm going to do this. This needs to be done. I like that. You go from within. And that inner wisdom lets you know what is yours to do. You have to have that mind stilled. You have to spend time in quiet to get there. But with that quiet, stilled mind, with that open heart, you will be prompted to do what is yours to do. You will be prompted to extend compassion in exactly the right way for you, and it'll have a huge impact, much more so than merely donating to a charity, although donating to a charity could be part of that prompt. As I spoke earlier, our writers group is a great group, and what we do is we give a prompt. Well, for our next meeting, we have this prompt. The last one we had was, what's the 3 smells you like most, or the 3 tastes, or sounds? That's what it was. And that prompt took each of us to a different place, and from within something came out of us. And the same thing is true with divine prompts that are within us. What comes out of you and expresses in the world is going to be so powerful if done from that place of the divine prompt within. So this is really brings us to the point that we often express in unity. It's not enough, we say in principle 5 of unity, to know the truth, but we have to express that truth in the world. We express the divine. So using those divine prompts, we express it in the world. And there is no greater blessing. I talked about joy earlier in the daily word. When you do that, when you know you've done that, you just feel joyous. I had an opportunity to sit and talk with a friend, not a longtime friend. It'll last a little bit. And as I was sitting and talking, I did something I rarely do. I really give myself to listening. I listened to him. I sat and listened. And he opened up and shared. And I was able to listen. I was able to hear because I was listening kind of to and through my heart. I was able to hear what a real need was for him. Consequently, I was able to call him in the next week. And it was just something that I knew, I just knew it was the right thing to do. I had been prompted to do that. It stuck in my mind. That inner prompt was there. And it felt absolutely joyous to do that. I recommend it highly. Hear those divine prompts and act on them. There are a few things that are kind of universal, though. I just want to mention them. I don't want to bypass them. These are divine prompts that are universal. And they're spoken of in Christian scriptures in Titus. And I just like this. 4 simple things. Good for us and good for our world, our society. And it talks about speak evil of no one. Speak evil of no one. A universal divine prompt. When you withdraw from that, you're extending compassion into the world. Avoid quarreling. It's not such a big thing. That thing that you thought was a big difference between you and somebody else, it's not that big. There's things that are so much more important than that. And there's a resource within to address whatever that difference may be. Third one I like, be gentle. Woo-hoo. I don't know if you've ever been brusque with people at times, but gentleness is a great way to extend compassion. And finally, show perfect courtesy to all people. Simple stuff, but it's a universal divine prompt to express divine compassion in the world. So, stilling the mind, opening the heart, acting on divine prompts. How do I do that? To get down to this part of it. Well, Michael Singer says, keeping the heart open is a choice. So there are times when you find your heart is open. Well, tag on to that time when you know your heart is open and resolve from this place, I'm not going back to the closed heart. I'm not going back to the heart that's got a door over it and locks on it. I am going to remain open in my heart. It's a choice. You may have to remind yourself with an affirmation that that's the choice you want to make. But remember that it is a choice. And I want to put this in the back of your head so that it's a choice to open my heart. You will be incredibly blessed. The more you keep it open, just you won't ever want to close it. There's some regular practices that help too. Meditation. Do you spend time in quiet? That's part of that stilling the mind so you can get to the open heart and you can get to the divine prompt. Gratitude. Gratitude is a wonderful place to put you in line for being a vehicle of divine compassion in the world. Be grateful. Be grateful for every little thing. Be grateful for even those things that are uncomfortable. Be grateful in advance for things that you see with eyes of faith. Be grateful. If you live in gratitude, if you have a gratitude practice, that'll set you up for expressing divine compassion in the world. A big one, stay in the present. So if you're online and you're not muted, if you could do so, I appreciate it. Staying in the present. That's the only time there is, and we talk about that. But how prone we are to go to what's happened in the past or project what happens in the future and not be present. If you're present to that person that you're sitting with whom you have an opportunity to extend divine compassion, if you're present, if you listen deeply, if you feel deeply with them, if you're empathetic, you're going to be extending divine compassion. So stay present. And then finally, listen, listen, listen. Listen to your heart. Make it a practice of listening to your heart in that still place. Listen to your heart. You'll hear the prompts. You'll know what's yours to do. And you'll be blessed by it, as well as being a great blessing to those around you. That core message again is, as we still the mind and open the heart, we can and should express divine compassion. Well, I'm not sure where it went, but I'm going to give you a quote or an approximation of a quote. And it goes like this. Whatever you do, I'm having to reword it here, so hang with me for just a second. When you listen to your heart, even though your heart is on the left, you'll be right. Nicholas Sparks, go find the real quote. I didn't give you quite the whole thing. But so it is. Amen. So Phyllis is going to play a meditation song for us, and there'll be one playing for online as well, as we spend time getting ready to meditate, to be in that still place.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hand. Spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of Spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Be completely still means to take all the thoughts in your mind, let them go by. Just let them float by. Let them go on with whatever they're doing, and then you'll be behind them. You won't be hindered by them. You won't be blocked by them. And then savor that quiet place, sometimes called the secret place of the Most High. And in this still place, I want you to use your imagination. I want you to see your heart, not the physical heart particularly, but that non-physical core of your very being where your divine identity lies. Get some sort of an image of that heart. Is it teeming with energy, pumping regularly and strongly? Or does it have a door on it, that heart? Does it have a door on it that's closed? When you see that door that may be closed, push it wide open. Push it wide open. There is nothing to fear, because in the big picture, everything works together for good. If that heart has locks on it, break them open. And push that door wide. Determined that you'll keep it propped open always. And then, as you consider your open heart, listen to that open heart. What is it saying for you? So we'll take this thought into the silence. As I listen to my heart, what is my heart telling me? We'll spend some time in reflection. Phyllis already told us she got involved in the process of listening to her heart. Have you listened? What prompt comes up? Is it a guidance for you? Is it something that tells you you need to extend compassion to yourself? Is it a prompt to come up that comes up to tell you here is an avenue for the expression of divine compassion? I urge you to keep listening to your heart. You know, and you can find that knowing. So let's bring our attention back and our awareness back to this time, in this place, wherever you are, if you're online or here in this room, if you're here in person. Come back now and just bring your awareness, realizing that there's a transformation that's been offered to you in this time we've spent together. And it's a choice for you. So as you come back and become aware of this physical surrounding again, be grateful. Be grateful. And so it is. Now it's time to share our gifts and offerings. We appreciate at Unity of Payson being able to have these services, being able to have all the activities that we talk about. They're such a blessing to different people in different ways, an exciting opportunity. So again, we appreciate your gifts. If you're online, there's some slides that Tom will be putting up to show you how to donate. unityofpayson.org or text Give Lively is a text number that you can do that. So it's not difficult. And we, again, are grateful for your gifts that allow us not just to function here, but also to give back to the community as well. So as Phyllis plays and as we play a song for you on the online version, we have two versions today. We'll have our offering taken. TJ is our usher for today. So Phyllis, go ahead. And we do have an affirmation. I'm a little new at this. The affirmation that we give is freely we give and freely we receive.
I'm going to play through this because I wasn't familiar with it.
Remember as a child you dreamed of flying to the sky. Now there's nothing stopping you but doubts inside your own mind. You know that you can be whatever you would like to be. Your time has finally come. The world is ready now to see you. Let your love unfold. Let your love unfold. It will change the world starting with you. Let your love unfold. Let your love unfold. change the world starting with you. Yes, you have the power to make anything so. Only you and God know where you are really meant to go. Rest assured that all your dreams are born to come true if you just find your strength inside and let it shine on through. Let your love unfold, let your love unfold. It will change the world starting with you. Let your love unfold, let your love unfold. It will change the world starting with you. Love for your own beauty and the beauty of the world. Love for the poor man, the rich man, for little boys and girls. Love for the birds singing, the sun bringing the spring. Love for the skies above, love for most everything. But do you love yourself as you know you should do? You are a child of God, no wall you can't break through. You've just got to believe that your great destiny awaits. All your wildest
Okay,
dreams
perfect.
will turn into your certain fate.
Okay, a little extra music there.
Thanks for that.
So we'll move on to our dedication of the offering. We appreciate your gifts again, and thank you so much. Let's see if we can get there it is, offering dedication up on the screen. There we go. So I'm going to bless this and say it together. Divine love flowing through us, blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we esteem. We are abundantly prosperous. And we give thanks. We're missing something, some words. Anyway, thank you, TJ. And thank you all for your gifts. So moving ahead into the next week. Before we do that, we got connection time. And we'll move into the next week. Yes, we're going to stay in the present. Somebody said that. I don't know. So the present means that we're going to rotate the camera now, and we're going to ask our new members this side here. If everybody come up, because we're going to celebrate our new members. Back around. Well, we will move on to what's happening in the future. Next Sunday is our speaker will be Reverend Julianne Lewis. We have always enjoyed Reverend Julianne, and I know that we will. Her topic is, and this should be interesting. I've thought about this a lot, and I want to get on the bandwagon here. Random acts of kindness, in line with our theme of compassion. So let's go on to our announcements. Regular announcements, you know them and you see them in that newsletter that Terry sends out every Monday. The morning cafe, which is Monday through Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Wonderful time to just spend with each other. If you get a chance, please do join us online. It's a lovely half hour, but a great way to start the day. Tai Chi with Teresa. Teresa, as I see here online. This is an online thing, Sundays and Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. But there will be no Qigong later this month on the 30th of October, November 2nd, and November 6th. Just so you know. We also have, make an announcement. Or we talk about organic gardening at Shanti Olmsted with Ram. And we tell you to go see him and connect with him. Those of you who are in Payson. Well, if you want to come from Detroit, Chris, come on out. Ram will be glad to host you. But some of the bounty of that garden is sitting on the back table here. And we don't want it to be there. And we don't want anything to be left. There are some watermelons, cantaloupe, and eggplant back there. Bounty from the garden. So please do help yourself to this bounty. Ram doesn't want to take it back home. And we'll find a place for it, but please freely take whatever you would like and can use. On the 6th of November, coming up, we're going to have a potluck. So we won't just have food on the table that way, but we'll actually have food that we can sit down and eat together. We'll break bread together. So I'm looking forward to that time for those of you who are here in person. And then in terms of what's happening this week, the craft circle at the Payson United Methodist Church meets in that little room right across the hall here. This past week, 3 of our number joined them for the craft circle. And this will happen again on Monday, tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you're a crafty, you may want to connect with Donna, and I can tell you how to do that. But take advantage of that. Now, also another thing that's happening, there's a lot of inspiration going on in the craft area. Marcy has opened her home for some other craft sessions. Now, Marcy, what times and days are they? Can you tell us?
It's Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and we're doing that to make sellable items for November 5th, the table that we are representing for Unity.
That's great. Thank you, Marcy. Yes, if you didn't hear that, it is Mondays and Wednesdays. What was the time again?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. at Marcy's house. Just go see Marcy and find out all the details where she lives. And that's another opportunity for craftiness. And the Mary Mall, they're calling it. I think you might have saw a flyer on the door coming in. We'll have a table at that Mary Mall. And this will be just a little bit of a fundraiser for Unity of Payson as well. So a great craft opportunity. Take advantage of it. Then Tuesday, there's a Course in Miracles. We have a wonderful discussion of Course in Miracles. And we invite you to join us. It's usually a good group of people that are there all the time, but we're looking for other people. We're always reaching out for other people. So do join us. It's at 6 o'clock on Tuesday evening, and you'll be glad you did. We have a couple of new things that are resurrected from our past coming up. Spiritual cinema here in this space. We'll have a movie called Freaky Friday. It's not as freaky as it sounds like. It's a really good movie with a bit of a message underneath it. So spiritual cinema on Freaky Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. here in this room. And we hope you'll join us then. And then the very next day, that was the 28th, and on the 29th, we'll have a costumed spirit sharing talent show. See Donna or get a hold of Donna. Again, if you need contact information, because she's not with us here in person today. If you haven't, something you'd like to share, some talent that you'd like to share, Donna would like to know about it so we can get it all scheduled in. And that'll at least be 1 hour in which we're having a costume, and of course, work up your costume as well. It's a great time to do that and have some fun with it. There'll be prizes and for the best and worst costume, of course, says Donna. One other thing I just want to bring to your mind and put it in the back of your head. I've talked with a couple people about it. Had a conversation with Debbie about it this morning. In November, starting in November on Saturdays, we will be having a class. Donna and I will co-lead a class on discerning your purpose. This is a unique class because it is a 4-credit class for Unity credentialing. If you have it all considered a ministerial or a licensed teacher path, there are a lot of required courses, and this is the one you could get here at Unity of Payson and online as well. So it'll be hybrid. That'll start, I believe, I've yet to get confirmation, but I should tomorrow, on the 12th of November. It'll be Saturdays. We'll take a break for the one that's on Thanksgiving, the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. But it'll be a 5-class affair, and it's on discerning your purpose. If you have any question about want to enhance your spiritual journey going forward, discerning your purpose, you'll find a lot that you will learn from this particular class. So keep that in the back of your mind. We'll actually put it in the real announcements when it gets there. Don't put it in yet, Terry. We'll wait till we get confirmed on the. I think that's it. We're going to now gather around in a circle and sing our peace song as we go. Oh, one more thing. When we finish, Phyllis is going to be playing some more after we actually are ended, and stay and sing along. It'll be fun. The light of God surrounds us I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the goodies in the bag, celebrate our new members. And for those of you online, we're delighted. Connect with us. Send us an email. We'll connect with you. And stay and sing with Phyllis. We're going to have some. There we go. So Phyllis, take it away.
Bye.